What is up, YouTubers? Welcome back to another episode of Alternation Outdoors. Got some surprises here, right? So the bass tank. Been thinking for a while now, trying to kind of decide, as far as upgrading electronics, what I wanted to do next. So lots and lots of thinking, with all the different technologies they have out there now. It's crazy, man. Originally, I kind of first started, thinking 360. Then I was like, okay, well, maybe I could expand, and instead of doing that, let's keep the Humminbird set up and let's go with, some type of forward-facing sonar. Humminbird's got something. Oh, maybe we should check out, a little something that Lowrance has. Well, Garmin's kind of been on the map for a while. There's a lot to choose from. So today, we're gonna find out what I chose. Let's get it. So like I said, tons and tons and tons of stuff to choose from as far as technology goes. What setup you want to go with, what brand you want to go with, what exactly you're looking for. Do you want forward-facing sonar, or do you want more of a side scan, down scan with the 360 type stuff, combinations? There's a lot to choose from. And I tell you what, folks over at the Bass Tank can hook you up. Super awesome service. Got this stuff in a day. Ordered it, next day it's here. But yeah, so what do you think I got? Like, which route do you think we went with, right? There's so many options, right? Humminbird, everything's rigged up Humminbird. Did we go Humminbird? Did we go Lowrance? Oof, the prices of these things. All right, well, so here it is. Dun, dun, dun. We went Garmin, straight Garmin. So, yeah, we're gonna go through the whole process, everything we got. We've been doing some Livescope, man. Livescope, but look, so number one reason that I decided to go this route, because I really wanted 360 and I really wanted live, something live, right? I didn't have a specific, pro or con, what I liked more, what I didn't like more. I was willing to look at all of them, give everybody a fighting chance. But this right here is why I went with the Garmin. Perspective mode. Perspective mode. You get live. You get forward facing, you get down, and you get perspective mode. It's the best of all the worlds. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? And you get this awesome 9-inch touchscreen. So, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get all this stuff unboxed, situated. We're gonna have to do a quick rundown exactly where and how all of this is gonna work. I'm not gonna be doing, so just know, this is not an in-depth install instructional. It's not an instructional video as far as install goes. Look, if you're spending this much money on this equipment and you're wiring it yourself, you probably don't need instructions on how to run wires, right? Everybody knows how to hook wires to batteries, like I said, if you're doing this. If you have specific questions, more than happy to help in any way. Just drop something down below. But what this video is going to be geared more towards is how you can expand the system that you already have, and without spending an arm and a leg, get it all set up, rigged up, and everything situated. So we're going to get everything lined up. I'm going to show you kind of what the overview of this install is going to be. Then we're going to do the install, and then I will come back and show you the finished product. And then hopefully in a couple of days, we've got snow in the forecast for tomorrow. So that's another perfect example, right? Snow in the forecast tomorrow, still cold, quite not ready to get out on the water yet. Mother Nature's just not having it. So, perfect opportunity. Let's get the boat rigged up. We'll have all this stuff set up, ready to roll. Let me get everything set up, and then I'll get back with you in just a second. I'm coming. All right, guys. So before we get any further with the upgrades, let's do a quick overview, kind of what we already have, right? So we're building off of the system that I installed. So when the boat originally was purchased, it came with this Lowrance Hook 5. That came with it. That's never been used. I don't use it, right? So eventually that's gonna have to come out. We'll do something with it. I don't know, it's not in the way right now, so not fooling with it. What I did do is I installed a set of Helix 9s is what I ended up going with. So I have some Helix 9s, some G3Ns, the SIs, right? The GPS, down imaging, all that stuff, the goodies, right? And because of the way my particular console is set up here, There wasn't quite a lot of room for the 9-inch. So what I did was I mounted here on the side with this lockjaw right here. And it works out perfect, man. It really does. It's within reach. It's out the way. It's on the inside of the boat. Nothing can damage it. I like it. It works good. Really does. And then we'll move over to the front, and I'll show you here. So here at the bow, what we have is another Helix 9. Same thing. It's SI. This unit is networked with the unit at the helm there. So saving waypoints and data and whatnot back and forth. It's talking. Works out perfect. The unit at the helm, I have the transducer installed at the back of the boat. Side scan and whatnot runs off that transducer. That transducer does talk to both units. So I have the SI up front, right? Not because I'm using the SI on the trolling motor. What I'm doing is I'm using the SI off the back unit so I can see my side scan up front, which is a really cool tool. I can run it off the Ultrix up here. I do have the transducer for that. But as everyone knows, the transducer, it's always spinning. You got spot lock on. It's just a distorted image. Doesn't work really well. So on my unit, I actually have my rear transducer selected for my side scan. And then I do all my down scan and my 2D off the trolling motor here. So it works out perfect, right? And it's pretty easily distinguishable. Really neat. If there's any questions on that, you can actually go in your settings. You can select what GPS your units are looking at as well as what transducers are looking at. But yeah, so the plan is we're going to expand up front with this Garmin Livescope setup. And I'll kind of go into detail now and show you how that's going to work. So, Garmin, right? Livescope. Everybody's heard about it. If you haven't heard about it, you've been living under a rock for ages now, right? The technology's been around for a minute. It's pretty well perfected, I guess you would say. Some of the other companies do have their other, I guess, opportunities. There's definitely some room for growing, right? I don't think that the technology is as good as some of the others, but I think Garmin's got it nailed. That's why we went with Garmin. And plus, it's a really good price, really good equipment. The customer service and everything else was great. Like I said, over the bass tank, those guys really hooked me up. Had questions, they had answers. If you need something, I definitely recommend checking out the bass tank, right? Located in Oklahoma, which is just a hop, skip, and jump away. It's like 2 hours from here, where their main office is at. Definitely good stuff. But yeah, back to the install. So going with the Garmin, I'm going to add this 9. It's the 9 SV up front, or 93 SV actually. I'm going to be adding that up front somewhere up here. So I do have some really good ideas, and there'll probably be more to come on that. But what I'm thinking is I'm thinking that what I may do is I may adjust my mount here for the deck and roll it forward some. And I think Boat Logic is the name of the company. They have some pretty cool mounts. Thinking about double stacking the monitors like this right here. Anyway, so you'd have a screen here and a screen here, and they'll be laid up, and I would probably have my Garmin up top and my Humminbird down below. So that's one option. The other option is actually sliding the Humminbird over and twisting it some, and then putting the Garmin here. So they would be kind of sitting like this. This is horrible. Anyways, like I said, this is not an in-depth video on how you need to do this. This is a video on me upgrading my system. So, like I said, I will answer questions if there are any. But yeah, so the monitor goes here, or unit, head, whatever you want to call it. We'll be putting up here. Got the black box and all the other goodies. This thing is a lot heavier than I expected. Here, and I also have the Garmin perspective mount. So the transducer comes with a mount, but this mount allows me to put it in perspective mode, which is probably the main reason that I wanted this unit, right? I'm really excited about the forward facing, but that perspective mode looks so awesome, like super awesome. Very interested in this. Can't wait to check it out. But yeah, so if you go over to the bass tank, you can pick up this entire bundle. When I say bundle, I mean the unit and the black box, and they were on sale for, it was right at $2,000. Right at $2,000, which is I mean, it really is. It's a good deal. It seems expensive, yes, but if you're looking to get in the live sonar game, it's really a good deal. And then in order to do the perspective mode, the Garmin perspective mode mount, this is $100. So for about $2,100 plus a little bit of shipping, depending on how you ship it and all that good jazz, you could, have some pretty sweet setups, right? But anyways, yeah. So now I guess we got to get to work. I will be running dedicated wires to the battery with a disconnect switch to the unit and the black box and all the power, just because these units are very sensitive to noise as well as voltage. So we don't want any voltage drop, but we'll go over that here in a minute. So yeah, let me look at all this stuff and figure out where it's all going. Then I'll come back and get with you on the next step. So everything I needed came in. Kind of got it stretched out, got my layout on the boat. I'm going to walk you through that right quick, just kind of show you where everything's going to go. I just wanted to do a good proper fit, right, to make sure that it was all kind of, you know, the lengths were all good, where I wanted it was going to work. You know, just want to maximize the space that I have and make sure that I run it all correct. So battery disconnect, it's a must. So the unit will stay live if it's not on a switch. And because this unit is very picky when it comes to power and interference, I decided, what the heck, let's run some new wire. We're gonna have its own dedicated system. Don't skimp out on the wire, guys. Wire's important. I actually could have got away with 10 gauge, but I decided to just step up, just go ahead and go with the 8 gauge. It's a little over, probably about a 16-foot run total, once you take your bends and everything else out. The Garmin manual says that up to 15 foot, I'm pretty sure it was up to 15 foot of a run, you could use 10 gauge. But it's not much more. Don't cheap out on your wires, guys. You're running a $2,000 unit. You want some good signal. So anyways, battery disconnect. Get them out here. Pretty simple here. Cables to the battery, power to the switch, and then we're going to run up to the front, and I'll show you that here. So continue on. Power wire here. Got a bunch of extra loose wire. I ordered 25 foot just to be safe. But anyways, that's going to run up. I decided to put the black box here. Black box is going to go here, mounted on this wall. It's easy access. It's out of the weather. I like it. I'm going to have some holes drilled in there. I got some rubber grommets. Everything's going to be nice and neat. And then my power wire, of course, from the black box, will go here. And my unit power wire will also tie in here. And I have enough to run and meet up in the front where it needs to go. Then my networking cable from the black box to the unit for my imaging, right? And that's going to run from the black box to the front. Super easy. And then of course the trolling motor, I'm going to have the transducer ran back to the units. The units are where I'm kind of at right now, trying to pick, what do you think? So there's two different ways I can do this. So the two options are mount the units side by side in sort of this orientation, which is not bad. I can make this work. Where it's more of a, you know, face-to-face. And I really like this option. I think this is the way I'm going to go. But unfortunately, I just got back from the hardware store getting some, you know, nuts, bolts, block washers, different things like that. And they do not have any metal. It's crazy. I remember you could just go buy metal places. You can't buy metal. So I'm going to do a little brainstorming. And I'm going to do a little Googling and see if I can come up with a way to either modify this existing bracket to make it do what I want to do, or I'll have to order a whole new bracket. I really don't want to order a whole new bracket. They're super expensive. Anyways, it is what it is. I'm really going to try to fix this one myself. But so that's the gist of it, right? Pretty simple. The layout's easy. Once I get all my wires tucked away and ran, then I can begin hooking everything up. We'll go over that here in just a little while. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my old noggin and the good old intranet, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how I want to mount these, because I really want it double stacked, man. I really like it just like this. I really do. It's clean. Everything's tight. No wasted space. So, yeah, let me see what I can figure out. I'll get right back with you. What is up, everyone? I have some awesome news. Today, my tackle warehouse shipment came in. Yeah, so we get to complete our mounting for the fish finder, right? So we had the mount kind of just rigged for now, and it works. But I have a rig that's going to go on my decket mount that I already have and kind of double stack them. So we're going to work on putting that together now. Tackle warehouse coming in clutch like always. Got this ordered, had it shipped. It's here in 2 days. Now we can make some magic happen. Let's see what we got in here. Of course, a bunch of nonsense paperwork, packing material which is necessary, and here we go. All right, so this is the precision sonar mount. So this is going to be like an addition to what I already have to double stack my units the way I want. So there's a lot of different orientations you can put these units. This is just preference. The way it is now, it works just fine. I mean, it's fine just the way it is. I just don't want it that way. Let's get this open. This is a first for me. Look at all, it came shipped in a Ziploc bag. This must be used. Hey, as long as all the parts are here, man, let it rip. Let's see. The mount's pretty well wrapped and whatnot. Oh yeah, I mean, it looks brand new. It's not beat up, so I'm good with it. I'm not that picky. Awesome. So what's gonna happen is this gonna mount to my existing plate like this, and then it's gonna allow me to double stack my units. Comme ça. Yeah. Anyways, it's basically just a piece of angle iron, and unfortunately, I went to every hardware store in town and could not find any angle aluminum the size I needed. So I was gonna have to order it and wait 3 weeks, or pay just a little extra and get one that's nice and powder coated and already drilled. I didn't want to do it, I had to do it. But everything's here, got all my nuts and my bolts and hardware we need, so yeah, I'm gonna get all this stuff put together because I don't want to bore you with it. All right, everyone, I am very, very happy to announce that the install is complete. So one more time, Garmin Perspective Mode mount, precision sonar bracket for the new 93 SV, as well as GLS-10 black box. So let's go through it. I'm going to show you start to finish exactly what I did and how I wired it and how it's set up now for those of you that are curious. Now this is a tin boat, right? It's just a tin boat, but it's an awesome tin boat with Livescope now. So let's jump into that. I'll show you. We'll start with the battery box. All right, so here in the battery compartment, we went with 8-gauge wire, right, to a battery disconnect. This is a must for the Garmin unit. If not, it will stay powered unless you go through an accessory switch. But I wanted to make sure that I had the proper voltage provided to this unit, and I wanted to make sure that it was done correctly. So I went ahead and went with, like I said, 8-gauge wire to the switch, and then from here it runs to the front, and we also have our 8-gauge ground wire. Pretty simple, right? 12 volt, battery disconnect, run the wires to the front. Running the wires to the front is a trick, but depending on your boat, maybe easier, maybe harder. That's the battery compartment. Pretty simple. Next we have the GLS-10 box. Pretty simple. Bolted it up here in the storage compartment. It's nice, it's dry, it's out the weather. Super easy to do. Got my wires ran. Everything's run up to the front, right? So power comes through the boat. Right through here is where I have all of my connections made. Everything's nice and dry inside this dry compartment, as well as my GLS-10 box, right? The black box. This is where the magic happens. So then we move up front, transducer, right? Pretty simple. I got the perspective mount here. You can move your transducer around. You can do all the cool stuff to get you different modes. Pretty cut and dry. That's simple stuff. You are going to want to make sure that you leave a good service loop here, right? You want to be able to make sure that you got enough cable for that transducer to be able to move freely, but not so much to where it gets snagged on anything. And one of the big things, recommendations, right? Velcro. These little Velcro straps you can get at any hardware store, really. I think I bought these at Walmart. It's been a while. I've been having them for a minute. But yeah, Velcro it all the way up the shaft, and also make sure you got a good service loop at the top of your trolling motor, especially on these Ultrics, right? You put this spot lock on, this thing goes to twisting crazy. You want to make sure you got enough cable rolling around. You don't want to get that stuff all tangled up. All right, so now this is my favorite part. So we have the Garmin 93 SV here, and the existing Humminbird Helix 9 here. I went with the Precision Sonar Poor Boy mount, right? So basically it's just a bracket that mounts to the existing Decade mount here and double stacks the units. So this is pretty awesome. Super easy to see. Everything's right here in line. Everything clears. Perfect. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Like I said, it's not really instructional, right? It's just kind of a setup, how I did it. Super excited to get this Garmin out on the water. Been looking at the Livescope for a while. I guess I've been living in the Stone Age. Everybody has it. I just now recently got it. But that's because my famous sponsor, Mom Amanda, decided to, you know, hook me up with this because, you know, I need to put some fish in the boat, all right? Box is empty. We need some fish. But yeah, if you got any questions about any of this stuff, drop it down below. Hit me up. I'll help you as best I can. I'm not a pro at it. I'm going to get out on the water, do some trial and error stuff, really, just figuring it out. But yeah, this is the setup. Later.